Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Pisces season. How's it going so far? How's it going? A lot of moving pieces. What did I just say? A lot of movement, a lot of adjustments, changes, relocations, things coming at you. You may even feel like, oh my God, there's too many things coming at me. People coming out of the woodwork. Why the heck are they calling me? I can't believe this person is surfacing after all this time. What right do they have to think they can come talk to me? I don't know, right? The hens are coming home to roost. Some of these are beautiful things. Jobs, promotions, financial reward, being more accessible within your community, people coming to you, people wanting to do business with you, people seeing, oh, wow, Taurus really is in a space of value. They really have something substantive they bring to the table. We need Taurus to be a part of our gig, right? We need Taurus to be a part of our thing. You are in high demand. Mars in your sign. The entire zodiac has this Taurus quality, and where you come through so naturally, you shine. So you are in high demand. And whether you feel that or not, or whether you start seeing that or not, it's more a matter of your perception. Okay? Because Uranus, right? Again, second round. We did this again last May, I think it was, right? We did it last May. Uranus coming back into Taurus, this time for good. So changes are brewing, and I know you can feel that like something's happening, but I know you're also just keeping your head down and doing the work. Like there is kind of a wait and see, an acceptance that you don't know what's coming, because I don't think you do, and I don't think there's any way you could really project at this particular moment in time. Bottom of the deck star, I just happened to see it. Hopes and wishes, little miracles all along the way. Healing, happiness, finding purpose, or not finding purpose, but living into your purpose, right? Really living into your personality. What'd I just say? The wheel is turning over, no doubt in my mind. And you can expect blessings, romance, money, everything. Those are the two main things, right? Romance and money, romance and acceptance and belonging, or, having those things that you're wanting. I think the tides are turning quickly. Eight of Wands brings about an element of swiftness. So while I normally say Wheel of Fortune turns over slowly and it's all about one little miracle at a time, understanding how the dots, you don't need to understand how or why the dots are being connected in their manner. The only thing you need to understand is that they're being connected in a certain manner for a specific reason that you'll understand later, right? The whole picture always is more clear looking backwards. Hindsight is 20/20. So just go with the flow, go with the vibe. Wheel of Fortune will not lead you wrong. It won't steer you in a wrong direction, okay? Abundance, which is your whole signs thing, right? That's your whole signs vibe. Abundance, gratitude, creation, magic, all these beautiful things. And you've been working your magic, you've been waving that magic wand, and it's starting to come to fruition. It's important that you do accept responsibility for all the wonderful things that are happening, because as you've changed inside, as you've become more whole, you've discovered more and more of your soul, discovered more and more of who you are, life becomes more peaceful, more manageable, becomes more enjoyable. There's no confusion here. The dust is settling. Yes, Uranus is going to be a little disruptive, but you, like I said, you've already gone through that. You've already done the whole Uranus thing. So you invite it in. Invite it in, open arms, and kind of like, okay, universe, change me. And I know, fixed earth, you don't like to change, blah, 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 but you're still a human being, right? Let's not put you into that fixed earth box. Okay, let's not call you stubborn. Let's not call you all these negative stereotypes, because humanness is fluid. And we all have experienced change throughout our lives. And now, whatever has been up in the air, and whatever choices you've been avoiding, or whatever thoughts you've been choosing not to pursue or not to attach to, they all start fading away, and your path is going to start becoming very, very clear. And when I say your path, I mean your path, like why you're here. And I mean the people that are in your life, and I mean your career choices. I think some of you are going to be over the course of the next 10 years, let's give it a big time frame, because the Uranus transit is pretty long, and it's going to hit your suns, hit your ascendants, hit your moons in different time frames, right? I don't know exactly how many years. I should probably look that up. It's like 10 to 15 years, something like that. So as Uranus connects with your major planets, that's when your life is going to be like, boom, just like that. It's going to become something different. Right now, in spite of the swiftness, these are somewhat contradictory in nature, but we can experience contradictions, right? It's our duality. We can experience them. You can feel a lot of things coming at you, and you can feel a lot of movement, but still like, okay, so yes, the dust is settling, but this card is still coming out nonetheless, which means there's still confusion, which means you probably don't know how certain people feel, which means you probably aren't getting all the exact information and all the exact answers that you're needing or wanting in order to make some kind of decision. Look, you don't really need to make any decisions this month, like for reals. You probably shouldn't. Mercury retrograde in Pisces, like, oh, it's all like in fantasy world right now. Decisions, not the best. It's not the best time to pull trigger, probably not even in business transactions, right? It's probably best to like wait until Mercury gets into Aries, and Mars finishes out his transit in your sign and moves into Gemini, because then there's going to be a lot more creativity. You are going to be able to connect those dots a little bit better with the Gemini quality. You are going to be able to think more intellectually. There's a lot of emotion flowing through everything, right? Hanged Man is a card of Neptune. Okay, let's not forget that. And even Jupiter. So actually we're getting the two Pisces ruled cards. Jupiter and Neptune, ruling planets. So it's just a little, it's great to be optimistic. It's great to look and dream, but let's keep it in that realm right now. Mars in Taurus, put your head down, go to work. Saturn in Capricorn, even Venus in Capricorn, and as she moves into Aquarius, right? Both Saturn ruled signs, getting things done, making things happen, and not with a lot of that forward stuff. So as you're just kind of hanging out, hanged man style, realize that the universe, I always say this is my card of universal intervention. You've probably heard me say it like a million times already. Universe is doing the work. The universe, because of the changes that you've made recently internally, it's all beginning to resonate outward. So you have to wait a little bit for the outside world to really adjust. It's not an instantaneous kind of thing. So that's what the Hanged Man is all about. You've done the magic, you've waved the magic wand, and it's a matter of waiting for matter to showcase itself, to showcase the changes. 7 of Coins. What is it in your life that you're dissatisfied with? Look, earth signs in general do tend to be, they're more likely. Now, I know you guys have all complicated charts and you have a myriad of different planetary placements. I get that. But generally speaking, earth signs do tend to look to the external world for their sense of satisfaction, because you are of the earth. And clearly we all know that the answers and the happiness and the joy cannot be found there. So what I think is happening is a very interesting transition to the inner world, which is what Pisces is all about. It's all about the inner universe here. So the meaning of all these goals and all these ambitions and all these things starts to lose their clout. And I think Taurus is going to go through a massive simplification process over the course of the next few years. You are going to, I know you've been working on the people. You've already been working on getting the people in order. But now it's about aligning your livelihood, your career, or finding purpose within your work life and your occupational life. It's about making more and more time for genuine love making, right? Like love making, not sex, right? But like meditative kinds of things. It's about priorities in terms of your family and really being there for the people that you love. Like these are the things that Taurus is starting to reincorporate into their lives in a very big way. And because you're doing those things, the material world is going to catch up. It's like it's waiting for you to release the meaning that those outside things have in order to give you the things. Taurus, being about possessions, being about money, it's especially relevant for you. Money chases you when you stop chasing it. And I think this is the moment when you stop the chase. For real. Like for real. You stop the chase. And Venus in Aquarius, I think it has so much to do with that. Like, let it go. You're a part of outer space. You have your inner space, your outer, like it's this whole big thing. And all the stuff of the world seems to just like pale in comparison with the level of spirituality that you're attaining. We're all growing, we're all awakening. We need to acknowledge that. So awakening is not reserved for a few. We're all doing it. Death. Yeah, of course. Of course. You're changing, you're closing things out. It's the cyclical nature. But what's beautiful about death is that actually death does not really exist. Death and birth. We like to always, as human beings, we like to define things. We like to put little punctuation marks on things. But really, when it comes down to that soul level and that soul awareness, it's infinite. It's an infinite continuum. So while materialistically and worldly, there may appear or feel to be some kind of a closure, Uranus and Aries, there will feel to be a closure and there will be a feeling of things opening up. In reality, it's not really the case. Sometimes death can be really, really hard, but it doesn't have to be. It can be the easiest transition ever. And I actually think that Pisces season is doing you a lot of favors because it's like easing you into this new phase. It's easing you into this new way of being where this kind of stuff doesn't really matter. And even like you're not even really wanting to make paths. Like I think that Taurus is like, you know what, universe, you got it. You've got the wheel. I think I said this in Aries or Pisces readings this month too. Like you got it, universe. You have it, spirit, source, guides, whatever. I'm just going to let you do it because you probably know how to do it better than I do. You're more intelligent than I am. You know more. Oh, let's talk about humility coming out here. Humility coming out big time. And I think whatever broken heart you've experienced recently, whatever sadness, whatever disappointment you've had, whatever failure, really was the launch pad for all of this. We always say that hardships and failure and the destruction of our ego and right, that's what death loves to do. It loves to remind us that you're not really who you think you are. You're not really a Taurus. You're not really whatever your name is. You're not really a Jennifer. You're not really an accountant. Let's remind you of that. That's not really what you are. And so the humility that has recently happened, or that kind of turning on of the light bulb, is really liberating you. And I think you're liberating yourself from your own afflictions, and that heart chakra being especially relevant for a Venus ruled sign, Taurus, and also even because your whole thing is like all right here, it is closely connected to the heart. Let's just say that, right? That you're setting yourself free by releasing the tension that has been caught here for so long. Sorry, I know my microphone's in the way. The only reason I have this big microphone, by the way, is because this little camera thing that I have, when it autofocuses, you can hear it. It's so stupid. But anyway, but that my hand's right here on my heart chakra. So yeah, you're letting it go one sword at a time, and swords are your thoughts, right? Interesting how the heart is connected with the thoughts. As you release thoughts and you release beliefs and you release this idea of identity, you become more free and you experience less pain. You do. You experience less pain the more you let go. What a soft month for you. Really, it's so incredible. It's feminine in nature, meaning it's more about the creativity of life, and it's more about the intelligence of the heart more than see. What did I just say? Letting go of all the. I always say this is a card of self-sabotage. So when it's released, you're getting out of your own way. You're not feeding yourself silly stories anymore. You're not projecting anything onto anyone. You're taking responsibility for your energy that you're bringing into the room and into the table, or to the table, I guess. And you're not caught in any kind of vicious cycles. And even if some of you did experience, a breakup or a really hard thing, or your business partner totally screwed you over, even if you experience something like that, there seems to be indifference, which is such a Buddhist thing. And it's just like, okay, well, that's life. And it's just like, not that you're not going to still, take people to court in order if that's something that needs to happen. Like if they stole from you, it's not like you're not going to try to get something back, but at the end of the day, I don't see Taurus putting up that big of a fight, because I think you've learned how strong life is, and you understand the currents very, very well. And as a fixed earth sign, let me put that identity box back around you again, just for visualization purposes. The mountains move, the earth moves. It is fluid. It is always ever changing. It's just not necessarily perceivable by man. And when it needs to change in a big way, it does. And whether perceivable by others or not, it's still big. It doesn't have to be loud to be substantive. Oh, like I said, it's not about pulling triggers this month, And I think there is a feeling of reserve that comes through here, which is actually quite beautiful, because it's the surrender, right? This is a card very connected with Aries, right? Cardinal fire, right? Queens are the cardinal energies of the signs or of the elements. So cardinal fire, Aries. So when we take a cardinal directed warrior energy and turn it upside down, what do we have left? A waiting warrior, right? It's not a weakened warrior. She's not going to just pull the trigger, and she's not just going to go to battle unless she knows what she's doing. So here she waits like a lion ready to pounce. A lot of readiness happening, a lot of preparation happening, universally inspired preparation, but just not a lot of action. And how could there be when you don't even know what the new beginning really is, when you don't even know what this new era is really going to bring about? Such beautiful acceptance. I see no resistance to this Hanged Man at all. Some of you may be annoyed, like, oh, I really have to wait for that? Do I really have to wait? You know, and I use this example a lot with George Lucas and the Star Wars analogy, right? Like he started on episode 4, 5, and 6, right? Like he did those episodes first because he knew that the technology was not available for what he wanted to do with episodes 1, 2, and 3. So he just started in the middle of the story and then he waited. He knew it would get there. So that's kind of what's happening. You're doing a George Lucas thing. Just waiting for the technology to be invented, just waiting for the right moment, just waiting for the energy to shift, knowing full well that it will the way it always does. So I'm doing something a little different this month, you guys. I got a new deck, and it's a very famous deck, just like the Rider-Waite. It's called the Thoth deck. And I decided to pull out just like 2, same as how I've always done, but just a little bit different because we can get some reinforcing cards, and then we'll pull out the clarifiers that we'll see in the comprehensive. Oh, okay. Clearly those 2 wanted to come out. Strife, 5 of Wands, and the Priestess. Beautiful. Okay. The reason why these aren't really the best is because I think the artwork is just a little bit too detailed for YouTube. I know a lot of tarot card readers use these, but I like the Rider-Waite for YouTube best. So here we have Strife, 5 of Wands. You may be dealing with a lot of people, okay, who just are not handling Pisces season very well. Please do not forget that the sun is going to be connecting here within the next week or so with Neptune in Pisces. Oh my goodness, this is a really challenging transit for a lot of people because what happens, okay, is the ego, the sun, gets dissolved, Neptune. See, you're handling it well because of your humility and because of your acceptance, because of all the life lessons that you've learned. But not everyone is so enlightened and they don't know what's going on. So it's very possible that people may get annoyed with how calm you are. They may get annoyed with how, like, the chill thing you've got going on. If you watch the Aries is important for you because it's the ruler of your subconscious house, your 12th house. And I even called their video the chill factor. So you got that. I mean, you're a Taurus, so you're pretty chill normally anyway, but like especially so. And people may get annoyed. They may be frustrated by that, and they might not understand. And when people don't understand what you're doing, because they're more concerned about what you're doing than what they're doing, and they start feeling out of control, because that's what Neptune does. It shows you that all you've got is a handful of water, okay, is really what it does. It forces you into this humble state. And when you have to be forced to be humble rather than consciously being humble, you can start acting out and projecting. And I think the 5 of Wands is probably going to be it's a Saturn ruled card. Okay, we have the symbol of Saturn there. And it does people's egos all over the place. Arguments, very likely. But I don't know, I feel like it's all coming from someone else. Like looking at these cards and you're kind of sleeping warrior here, there's no message here that you are in an aggressive state at all. So when other people begin to be aggressive with you, it can make them even more aggressive when you do not respond in the way that they want you to, because many people will try to just like pick at you and push your buttons, but you're too evolved for that. Okay? In your work scenario, in your romantic dating life, you may not find a lot of resolution to things. It's really going to be best to just walk away, even if that thing that you appear to be walking away from appears to have potential, if I can get the words out of my mouth. Even if those things appear to have potential, it is better to walk away than to fight. And that is really what a high priestess would do, right? The ultimate in femininity. It is about the what is the feminine, right? Pisces season, the rain falls down, falls into the rivers, and then the rivers always make their way back into the ocean, right? Back into the oneness, Neptune, universal substance, all that stuff, Pisces, okay? When a river flows, it doesn't try to get through the rocks, right? It just goes around the rocks. It's not avoidance. It's not repression. In fact, it's the opposite of that. And the high priestess understands that. And she understands that as things come up through the subconscious, through the ethereal realm, into the conscious world, that they must be dealt with. And I have this feeling the people you deal with are going to be comically transparent. Comically, like it's going to be almost funny. Because you're going to be like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you even saying? Like, none of this, like, oh, I don't know. It's just going to be funny as to how little self-awareness certain people have. The best advice is just simply to be kind and compassionate and understand that they're just not as spiritually along their same path, right? And in some ways, they probably are who you used to be. And by taking and exhibiting compassion for their Five of Wands and their strife, and I know you have a lot of other things going on to worry about, so this is seemingly insignificant and irrelevant. You have motion, you have changes coming, you have all these blessings, all the things you've been manifesting. I know you're still working, right? But it's more relaxed. Okay, let's start pulling clarifiers. Let's actually start with the Eight of Wands. Okay, clearly that one wants to come out. Oh, interesting. This is why I've actually started pulling the clarifiers on the generals, just so that you can see, because sometimes the first kind of layers that come out are one thing, and then sometimes the clarifiers they add so much more depth and meaning to the whole story. So, okay. There is a heaviness to the Eight of Wands, but there's a story of doing things in spite of fear. You are in a period of releasing a lot of energy, a lot of negativity. And sometimes negativity unveils itself layer by layer, and you realize how many layers of psychology you've had working against you for all these years. And for some of us, there's the Queen of Wands upright, beautiful. For some of us, it takes a lifetime to peel back all those layers. Okay, a lot of people coming through for the Seven of Cups, which gives me a feeling that you're dealing with a lot, and you're either not sure like which one to work with, who to side with, who to choose, all that kinds of beautiful stuff. And as I clarify the Wheel of Fortune, we get the Sun. So let's not even poke at that one. Let's just leave that one as is. Let's look at the Hanged Man now. Beautiful. This is the time for visualization and especially acceptance, acknowledging the reality. Okay. Death. Oh, see, Three of Cups. See, death isn't even really that big a deal. Social activity, Pisces season for you guys normally. Being with friends, having a good time. It's probably an interesting push-pull between introversion and extroversion. You know, there may be a draw to be inside, a draw to be indoors, to be at home, to be comfortable, cozy. A lot of people coming out. But yet also at the same time, people still calling, people still wanting to see you. You are a source for a lot of the zodiac right now. And I do think they are seeking out your energy. They're seeking out your value. Okay, a lot of clarity coming through on that Three of Swords. Seven of Coins coming out again. Beautiful. Goes hand in hand with the Nine of Swords reversed. Three reversals for the Queen of Wands. Interesting because of the Fool reverse that came out in the beginning. I know that I always pull a lot of cards, guys. Yes, we do go into depth in the comprehensives. I do make a mess. It's fun though. A lot more to the story usually. Are we getting like every single court card? I feel like we're getting every court card coming out. You're going to be forced to really deal with a lot of adolescence. Seven of Cups coming out upright this time. A lot of adolescence and a lot of people trying to give you like consolation prizes like, oh, thanks for playing, you know? And then Moon reversed at the bottom of the deck. So this is where we will pick up on the comprehensives, guys. All right. Thank you so much. If I don't see you on the website, then I will see you next month. Take care. Bye-bye.